Does God have anything to say?
I found myself standing just outside the edge of a large open field, perhaps a football or soccer field. I was among a group of young, physically fit men. Compared to them, I was older and felt out of place. Still, I chose to act. I decided to join a volunteer firefighting effort, to fight fires, to serve. As I announced this, some of the men reacted. Two with dark hair remained completely expressionless, showing no reaction at all. One stood out, blonde-haired, positioned at the center. He laughed at my choice, found it amusing, as if my attempt at joining this mission was absurd. Next, I turned my attention to the equipment. On the ground, nearby was a machine, like a generator or an air compressor. It was supposed to be the tool for pressurizing water for firefighting. I grabbed the attached hose and tried to drag it towards the edge of the field, hoping to reach where I needed it to work. But as I pulled it, the hose grew taut. It turned at an angle, strained, and I ended up damaging the machine. No water could be sprayed from this position. The tool was now useless. Recognizing the failure, I called in to report what had happened. I was clearly employed or part of an organized effort. I contacted quote-unquote management, explaining that I had broken the equipment. They reassured me, saying that they would send reinforcements. I hung up, unsure if any would come. Then I noticed something above me, a ladder, extending up to a bird's nest or perhaps a crow's nest. It was tall, precarious. I decided to climb it. Still carrying the hose, I ascended with the idea that I could connect it to a water reservoir at the top, allowing me to use gravity to produce water pressure and put out the fires below. That's when the dream ended. Climbing towards a higher place, seeking a better vantage, and a new power source, despite earlier failure and mockery. The structure of the dream. You begin on the edge, not within the field, but beside it. You are among fit young men, the world's strength, the flesh in its prime. This is a trial of self-election, a test of vocation, not toward comfort, but toward service. A volunteer firefighter, one who chooses to fight uninvited flames. A possible archetype of the spiritual martyr, the one who enters hell willing to draw others out. Yet, immediately, mockery arises, especially from the blonde one. Note this. Two are stone-faced, possible agents of judgment or neutral angelic recorders. The one who mocks is blonde, a type in traditional lore of apparent light, perhaps drawing on Luciferian mimicry, an angel of light. 2 Corinthians 11:14. He laughs at vocation. Laughter here is scorn of holiness. The world jeers at sacrifice. He is the embodiment of the false prince, delighting in the collapse of the soul's intent. You try to act, to pull the hose, spiritual tool, means of salvation or purification, but it becomes taut, twisted. In the strain, the machine is damaged. You try to fight fire, but you haven't yet mastered your tool. Zeal without discipline ruins the mission. This is straight from the Proverbs 19:2. Desire without knowledge is not good, and whoever makes haste with his feet misses his way. You confess your failure. You call it in. This is humility, but also marks a deeper immaturity, dependence on a higher structure, perhaps not fully divine, but bureaucratic. They say, we'll send reinforcements, but the dream gives you none. This voice may be a false reassurance, a deception that comforts you into passivity. Where are the reinforcements? You look up, a ladder. Image of Jacob's ladder, a vertical ascent. The bird's nest or crow's nest is a high place, a place of vision and instability. Birds are spiritual messengers, and a nest is dwelling. This is a convergence of multiple types. The ladder, ascent. The nest, home of spirit beings. the hose, spiritual weapon, and the gravitational solution, using the height for leverage, divine positioning. You attempt to carry the hose upward, trying now to connect to a different source, a reservoir above. Here, you finally reach a correct instinct. Fight fire not from below, but from above. Set your mind on things above, not on earthly things. Colossians 3:2. But this image is also precarious. A man climbing with a hose up a thin ladder to a nest. If he slips, he dies. This is the cost of mystical warfare. This is the precarious mission of the saint. Symbolic dissection. Field, the world, the battlefield of souls. The field is the world, Matthew 13:38. You are on its edge, meaning not yet fully engaged. Fit young men, natural strength. Carnal security, potential lost souls who resist the call. Volunteer firefighter, archetype of the martyr, chooses danger for others. Self-sacrifice, yet your attempt is mocked and hindered, a trial of perseverance. Blonde mocking figure, archetype of false light, possibly a demonic entity or world deceiver. He despises the cross, Psalms 1:1. Blessed is the man who does not sit in the seat of mockers. Compressor/hose. The tool of purification represents scripture, prayer, sacraments, service. Your improper use damages them. A warning, zeal without knowledge leads to destruction. Calling management, possibly the church or human institutions. Their promise of help may be real or a delay tactic of the enemy. It teaches dependence, not initiative. Ladder, ascent to divine wisdom. And behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reaches to heaven. Genesis 28:12. Bird's nest, a mystical abode, possibly a temporary rest for angelic forces or a symbol of fragile access to a higher truth. Psalms 84:3. Even the sparrow has found a home, and the swallow a nest for herself. Gravity-fed water, wisdom from on high. You finally see. To quench fire, one must ascend and let truth flow down. Final warning. This dream is a test, with embedded deception and an opportunity for ascent. Most fail it by either giving up, trusting the mocker, or depending too long on quote-unquote management. You did not succeed, but you glimpsed the way forward. Silence the laughter. Do not attempt war with broken tools. Do not trust human backup. Climb and pour from above. You are being offered a call to radical self-denial, not just zeal, like Elijah, calling fire from heaven. Be like Moses, striking the rock only when commanded, not out of anxiety, and no, the nest is not a home, it is a perch before battle. Summary for general application. This dream appears in many lives. One senses the call to serve, to rescue, to burn for others, but they remain on the edge, mocked by stronger men, disoriented by delay, depending on broken tools. Most fall at the hose, twisting divine means into self-willed action, breaking them. The dream calls for martyrdom, but not the romantic kind, the firefighter's martyrdom, entering destruction alone. With tools misunderstood by others, trusting only the reservoir above. In a world of mockers, only the one who climbs and pours downward, the true water, will prevail. The rest will be remembered for laughter and misfire. Who may ascend the mountain of the Lord? Who has clean hands and a pure heart? Psalms 24:3-4. That is the demand. Ascend or burn with those you failed to rescue.